take questions. Start when you're ready, Coach.
All right. First off, got to give Northwestern a lot of credit. Somebody had to win that game. Somebody had to lose that game, unfortunately and fortunately. So they made enough plays to win the game. There's so many good things from that football game with our football team, from a lot of different people's perspectives and performances, that it's going to get overshadowed by the loss, but not on my mind. I loved our effort. I loved our resolve. This is what they've done all year with the resiliency and their fight. I mean, that's other teams get scholarships, get paid too, and they're going to make plays, and they're going to fight, scratch, and claw. And just went back and forth. It was a really good football game. Unfortunately, they made more plays than we did, and came up 3 points on the winning side. And we had our opportunities and didn't take advantage of them. And they had their opportunities, took advantage of them. They didn't play a perfect game either. But that's a typical Big Ten. Remind me of the old Big Ten West. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So you got to give them credit. They made a lot of plays. So did we. But we did not play well enough as a team, offense, defense, and special teams, to come out with a victory of what was necessary to win this football game. So with that, we'll open up for questions.
PJ, how did you look at the defensive issues you guys had?
Yeah, there are a lot of them in. And there's a lot of there's no excuses, but there are reasons. We got a lot of guys out there that are playing for a lot of them the first time. They're really young players. This is the way you grow up. This is an investment program, and behind a lot of our starters are a lot of depth. Our young players, and they get an opportunity to play. They got to go out there and be able to execute, and we'll continue to challenge them. I'm responsible for putting people in the game, so. Transferring over the practice field to the football field. We got to coach them better, and then we got to be able to play better.
It's the third straight game where the defense has allowed over 450 total yards.
Yeah, I don't look at the third straight game. This is one game championship season. That's it. Well, you're 0-1. So this game has nothing to do with last game. Has nothing to do with the week before. They're all different opponents, and all do different types of things. What was your question?
I mean, it's continuing on a theme. And you look at even today with the pass defense. Specifically in your mind, what were the biggest issues there today?
Well, I mean, we just didn't cover well enough. We took advantage. We got 17's a really good player. He's getting open versus everybody, and that's what he does. I thought the quarterback for them played really, really well. Maybe his best game of the year. But we didn't get to the quarterback very, very often, and we didn't cover well down the field. When you put those two together, I mean, you're going to have all day to throw, and they're going to complete them. So, got to get some guys back. Got to get some guys healthy. But our guys fought, scratch, and clawed, and I'm proud of them for that. But these are part of the things that, when I say skip, you can't skip steps. In our type of program that we run, that we have, you can't skip steps. And does that mean playing a younger player? It means playing a really young player. And fortunately, there was a bunch of young players out there. Now, that means our older players have to lead them and play way better. But as a team, offensively, defensively, and special teams, I mean, we just didn't do enough to win the game, period. So we should, in that type of game, we got to be able to overcome that. If that's going to be the issue. Too many third and longs that were converted, too many second and longs that ended up being first downs. But it doesn't take away from how hard they played, and their resiliency and the resolve and their fight to keep going. And this is how teams grow up. When I say skip steps, this is what we're talking about, not just for right now in the 2025 season. It is what it is, right? You look at the future, and these are part of the things when you play some young players. These are some of the things that possibly could happen. We're playing some of them. And some by choice, some not by choice.
PJ, what's the message to Brady as he is a tough day?
Yeah, man. Keep kicking. Just keep kicking. I mean, in the NFL and college football, that's why every kicker doesn't have a 20-year career. Sometimes it goes through, sometimes it doesn't. We've got to execute way better. But he's made some really big kicks for us all year. So I know he'll respond to that, that's for sure.
What did you like from Drake today?
Poise, confidence. I thought he was really good in the huddle, in and out of the huddle. I thought he was really good taking command of the offense. We've got to be able to run the ball better. I don't think that's a secret. We got to run the ball better. And that goes on everybody. But we're not playing complementary football. Whether that's offense, defense, special teams working together, right? So you can manage and call the game better on all sides, right? But complementary in terms of offense and within the offense, running the ball, throwing the ball, mixing it up. And we're not being able to do that on defense with the run game and the pass game, pass defense. So we're not playing enough complementary football as a whole, and then we're not playing complementary football well enough on offense, defense, or special teams.
PJ, you're talking about young people out there. Danny Collins is in his first time as a defensive coordinator. How do you look at him this year and kind of as he's done this season?
Yeah, again, I look at three things, right? I look at the coaching, I look at personnel, right? And then we look at scheme. Those are the three things that I evaluate every single week. But if we have to look at, okay, I got to go back through the tape, Andy, as we go. I mean, I can look on the iPads, but we really need to diagnose the tape. But I love what Danny's doing. I love how hard our defensive staff works. Part of it's we just got to be able to make the plays that present themselves. And again, I think at times, throughout the entire year, we've pressed here and there. We're pressing to go get the ball, and the details matter. So when we're talking about the fundamentals and the attention to detail of the fundamentals, plugged into the scheme, like they deserve its own discipline. Like those need to be working hand in hand. And if we're supposed to be in an alignment, that's exactly that alignment. Be in that alignment exactly, and then then from there be the football player you need to be. But some of that we're not doing well enough. So again, it all falls on me to start with the teaching piece of all of that, and we're gonna be way better.
You saw Danny actually coach down from the field. I think he's normally up in the box. Was that a baseball stadium decision, a coaching decision?
We felt like the view from the box possibly might not necessarily give us an advantage. So, Danny being down on the field was just the decision we made this week. It wasn't something that was like, okay, it was a reaction. It was just more of, it's not like a normal football game where you're at. So it felt like being down on the team with the team, especially with some guys that are going to be playing today. We felt like him being down on the field would be probably a little bit better, especially on the back end. And then with us being in the baseball stadium with the view, probably gives an advantage of him being on the field with his energy and his voice.
Partway through the game, you made a change along the offensive line, brought in Tony Nelson at right guard. Is that an injury issue, or were you just looking for something a little bit different?
No, just Tony's worked really hard. Tony deserves an opportunity. My job is to teach and demand, and players' jobs are prepare and perform, and you got to make some calls as you go through the game. So, but I believe in all of our guys. But when you're going through the film and you're watching certain things happen, you've got to be able to fix certain issues. And again, if there's personnel, it's scheme, or it's coaching, and you're even going through that through series to series.
What'd you say to the team afterwards?
Well, I started with I'm really proud of them. I'm not. Forget the result piece. The way they fight, scratch, claw, and this is going to be a one-possession game. I think everybody understands that. When these two teams get together, it didn't go well, and then it went well, and it went back and forth. Their fight, the resolve, the resiliency. I love to watch that because that's going to make them better husbands, fathers. That's make us a better football team. And this team never quits. It doesn't matter what the score is. It doesn't matter who we're playing. We just didn't play well enough to win. But I did tell them, I said that this is the perfect time to keep coming together and even get closer together. In adversity, you get way farther apart or you get way closer together. There's no in between. That is a decision and a choice. And I said, you got to give them credit. And they're a really good football team that, you look at who they've played and who they played really tough over the last 4 to 5 weeks. Even last week, this was a toss-up and it was going to come down to the last possession. And we felt like that was that type of game. And they made one more play than we did. And they didn't play perfect. We didn't play perfect. But they made one more play than we did. But that's what I told them. I told them we're a really good football team. We've got 7 days, and we'll be playing for the Axe in Huntington Bank Stadium back at home.
Take one or two more for Coach.
Did you get an explanation on the lack of a DPI on last drive?
No, I didn't. My guy's on one side, he's on the other side. No, I did not.
Final one for Coach, or is everyone all set? All right, thank you guys. Thank you, Coach.
All right, everybody, thank you. Brother Boat Sky, Mountain Gophers, thanks for coming. You bet.
Your career high 4 touchdowns today. And what did you like about what you guys were seeing through the air?
Yeah, thought our wideouts and the line and running backs executed really well. It's obviously not enough, and we just got to keep getting better.
How do you kind of keep a team together where it seems like the offense is playing well and the defense is struggling at the moment?
Yeah, it's complementary football. We just got to keep getting better at that, and we're a team at the end of the day. We do it together. We obviously got to do more. Sometimes, it's not always going to be 50-50 between offense and defense. Sometimes defense is picking us up. We got to pick them up and do a better job.
You and Javon had a great day together. What did you guys like about the game plan to know that he was in line for a career day?
Yeah, there was a lot of opportunities and shot plays, and Pablo put them in for us. And We executed him, I thought, at a good level, and O-line obviously did a great job holding him up. I mean, obviously, he had a great day and made great catches. So, yeah.
What was the, you guys didn't clock it there at the end. Was that, walk me through kind of that last play before you kicked the field goal?
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to get one more opportunity, but we didn't want to clock it and go to 4th down. So I think that was the thing there. He wanted to try and get one more chunk play or see what we could do.
What'd you take away from what PJ said to the team afterwards?
Yeah, you know, we got to stay together. You know, this is a huge week coming up, and we got to, you know, learn from this one and attack next week. But we just got to stay together because it's the biggest team game in the world. So once you divide, you know, the team will go to crap. So you just got to stay together and lead through adversity.
What did you think of playing in Wrigley?
It was really cool. You know, I was really excited for this game because it was the next one. But obviously, this venue is historic. It was a great opportunity to go 1-0, and we obviously didn't do that. So we got to, you know, come back stronger.
What did you feel like were some of the consistent issues in the first drive of the game again?
Yeah, you know, I mean, discipline thing on 3rd and 1, you got to watch the ball. I mean, we can't do that. And then 3rd and 6, you know, I gotta, you know, step in the pocket, maybe scramble and make something happen. But I mean, we got to obviously fix that issue.
Any more for Drake?
Thanks for the time, Jared.
Thank you, Drake.
Jalen, how difficult was that one for you guys?
Every loss is difficult. I mean, at the end of the day, you don't want to be the person that loses. Individually, but as a team, you don't want to lose. We work very hard, every day of the week, throughout the process, when it comes to practice and meticulous things that you put in, whether it's film, treating your body right, listening to coach, overcoming your own adversity. When it comes to each game that you play in, and when you lose, I mean, it's always going to be tough. But at the end of the day, it's part of the growth process. So you got to take it as an opportunity.
What do you view as the biggest issues on defense today?
We just got to continue to respond. We didn't respond enough, and then at the same time, we didn't make enough plays to where we can help the team win in a game like this. So, I mean, when we come in tomorrow, we got to dissect the film, see what we can do better, what plays we need to make so that we can win the game, so that the game doesn't go that way. And, yeah, I mean, overall, just didn't make enough plays. We got to be better.
Made it challenging for the pass rush.
Just made it challenging for the pass rush. We didn't emphasize our technique enough. We got to be able to take the coaching, be better in that aspect. And overall, just being able to trust one another, being able to understand where you are in the pass rush and how does that coordinate to the other people and where your landmarks is. Because at the end of the day, we got great coaches. We got to be able to apply the techniques and what they're teaching so that we can go out and be the playmakers that we are.
PJ talked about how you guys might be pressing a little bit, trying to get some of these takeaways to start to flow again. Do you feel that as one of the senior leaders on this team?
Yeah, I mean, you always want to emphasize takeaways because that's a part of our philosophy that we teach as a Gopher defense. It's part of the 78% that we teach. And getting takeaways because we emphasize the ball, I mean, that's huge. When you don't get takeaways, that begins to add up to the game and score at the end of the day, and then it becomes a more narrow game than what it should be. So at the end of the day, yes, we emphasize takeaways, but you don't go out of your job to go get takeaways. You got to go do your job too, and that's another thing that we got to do better at.
What's the importance with days ticking down in Wisconsin next?
We're just focused on that. Not worried about Wisconsin yet. We are going to worry about Wisconsin, but right now we're focusing on this loss. We got to be able to digest this and then see what we didn't do well, and then being able to, once we truly figure out and diagnose what we didn't do well in this loss, then we can move on.
Any more for Jalen? All right, thank you.
Yep, thank you so much.